can have detail of that on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And of course, the last story I've taken on the paper says, Senate denies receiving 21 million naira as salary or allowances. And details of that also can be found on page 3 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. So you can have yourself a copy to read details of all these headlines there and read more on them.
All right, that is how much we can take on the newspaper review segment this morning. If you're interested in any of these papers, please feel free to visit your newspaper national daily stand to get yourself a copy or two of the papers. At this time for a very short break, and when we come back, it will be time for the AM News. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Alright, you're welcome back. This is still the Friday edition of the AM Drive, reaching you live from our studio here in Akwata, Yakuba. Don't forget you can reach us live in Star Times 113 on Free TV at 502, and for the live streaming, we are also on Facebook at Kwara TV. At this time for the AM News, I am Kehinde Olaoye Adesina. Now moving on to the news. The Kwara State government has supplied 250 units of computer sets to Igbaja community as part of efforts to promote information and communications technology. The move is also to allow for easy accessible to computer-based tests for students in the rural community. Kafayat Ajushafe has the details.
Igbaja community has at least 25 secondary schools. Most times, students in this area have to travel to Ilori, the capital city of Kwara State, to write computer-based tests. It was during his last visit to Igbaja to inaugurate this building that Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak promised to supply computer sets to the center for the use of the students.
This initiative reflects His Excellency's deep passion for empowering our youth and improving access to quality education, particularly in Kwara South.
The promise is now fulfilled. 250 units of computer sets have been installed with internet facility. Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Dr. Mary Anride, says the initiative is aimed at improving access to quality education.
It has been fully supplied 250 computers to seat 250 students, rather than they going up and down looking for where to sit for the exam. It's a great feat that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak CON has done for us, and we can see it clearly that education is really his heartbeat.
This provision offers greater access to modern tools, essentials for students' academic success. This is acknowledged by the students and the Igbaja community.
Now they don't need to go to as far as that, as far as Lagos or whatever. They can easily access it and have their exams done here. So it's an advantage to us, and we appreciate it. It will, the risk, the cost, and everything. So it's an advantage.
If we want to do JAM, we not have to go to Ilorin again. We just come to here to register, and it will help our parents too for our transport fare and other things.
Provided computers and systems for over 200 computers for the students, and we thank him that God continue to replenish his pockets.
Highlight of the event was an inspection of the facility by the commissioner and the entourage. Kafayat Ajishafe, Kwara TV News.
Universal Basic Education Commission has its own immediate reports, which quoted the commission as bemoaning the state of schools in Kwara State, saying the report was the imagination of the reporter. Special Assistant to the UBEC Secretary Yaya Ismaila said in an August 9, 2024 letter to the Kwara State Universal Basic Education Board, Professor Shehu Rahim Adaramaja. He said at no time during the visit of the UBEC Executive Secretary to monitor the Master's Trainer Workshop then ongoing in Ibadan or your state did not make any statement on the state of education in Kogi, Kwara, and other states. The workshop being conducted in Ibadan drew participants from Kogi, Kwara, and the southern parts. The commission said that the first report would have caused the state some concern and embarrassment, but assured that it is not the practice of the executive secretary to use a public forum like the visit to Ibadan to cast aspersion on the effort states are making towards a smooth implementation of the UBEC program. And coming back to Kwara State, the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak's investment in the tech-driven Kwara Learn initiative has continued to record success with improved learning outcomes and enrollment of not less than 180 pupils in the first 2 years. Managing Director of the Abdurrazak-led government initiative, Laide Abel, disclosed this while fielding questions from newsmen at the completion of the second-year anniversary. Kafayat Ajishafa reports that the digital inclined educational system of the state government has recorded a significant improvement in the number of out-of-school children in Kwara State. A report.
Kwara Learn is an acronym for Kwara State's leading education achievement and reform, now involving government's huge investment in modern technology to empower teachers and support learning in basic classes. Kwara Learn Managing Director Laide Abel said at a stakeholders retreat marking its second anniversary that Kwara Learn has successfully improved literacy and numeracy skills of pupils in Kwara basic schools by at least 50%. The retreat saw different departments make presentations to analyze their experiences on the fields and in tech-based situation rooms in different parts of the state.
Since we started, absenteeism has also dropped by almost 50%, because now the teachers know that we can monitor them. And we have the situation room, which is in HE's office, His Excellency, the Executive Governor, has one in his office. The chairman of SUBEB also has one in his office. So from that situation room, you can see what is happening in all the 1,599 primary schools in Kwara State. And you can see the names of all the head teachers, all the teachers, their phone numbers, whether they're in school, whether they're not in school.
Abel commended Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak for his passion for educational development. Commissioner for Education, Saadatu Modibo Kawu, Chairman House Committee on Education, Muhammad Baba, Executive Chairman, Kwara State Basic Education Board, Professor Shehu Rahim Adaramaja, took their turns to express views on Kwara Learn.
With that is that from the comfort of our offices, we can track if the teachers are absent in the classrooms, if the head teachers are not coming to school, when we don't have enough children in the schools the way they should be. So we'll be able to ask those questions. What is happening? When we see the red flags, then we'll be able to tackle it immediately. So it's been extremely impactful.
What is going on here is promising. Though, in education, you cannot do it all at a time. As he says, Rome is not built in a day. We still have some gaps, but there's clear shifts from the ugly past to a promising one now.
For every program, it needs improvement. For us, we have identified one or two things that need further improvement, which I've highlighted to them.
The event played host to prominent personalities in the education sector. Kafayat Ajishafe, Kwara TV News.
All right, moving on. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has recommended Honorable Justice Kudirat Motomori Kekereekun to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for appointment as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the CJN. This is imperative as Justice Olukayode Ariwola will formally bow out of office as the Chief Justice of Nigeria next week, Thursday, August 22, 2024. If approved, Justice Kekereekun will be the second female Chief Justice of Nigeria, with Mukhtar Aluma as the first female CJN. The Council also recommends 28 candidates for appointment as judges of state courts and the candidate for appointment as Qadi of the Sharia Court of the FCT, Abuja, to their various state governors. A statement by the CJN's Director of Information, Soji Oye, and made available on Thursday contained the recommendations. The recommendation was made by the NJC at the 106th meeting presided over by the outgoing Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. And moving on, the federal government has stated that he has set up an agriculture and water resource joint action committee to address the challenges of food security and inflation. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Senator Aliu Abdullah, disclosed this at the National Youth Convention in Abuja. The convention was organized by the Nigerian Women for Agricultural Progressive and Development Initiative, which aimed to gear towards advancing the food security agenda of President Bola Tinubu. It said the ministry has recommenced the dry seeding farming as the country will not be able to feed its more than 200 million people, depending on the 6-month training season for agriculture. It said that the country was blessed with abundant water resources and so many river basin development authorities that should be a nest for all year-round farming in order to ensure food security and self-sufficiency. It said they approved the Agriculture and Water Resource Joint Action Committee will look into how the food security will enable us to take on dry season farming in most of the river basins for the purpose to encourage all year-round farming. The minister confirmed recent flooding in some states of the Federation and identified the menace as part of the challenges of the climate change. The minister said the renewed hope agenda of the president was focusing on the future, adding that the future rightly belongs to the young generation. And in addition, the Nigerian Labour Congress has accused the government of declaring war against the union following the recent raid on its headquarters by security forces. At the press conference in Abuja, the NLC leaders rejected the police explanation for the invasion and demanded an apology as well as a return of seized items and the release of detained individuals. The NLC also criticized government attempts to interfere with the organization's internal affairs, including a proposed reduction in the tenure of trade union leaders, argued that it violates labor laws and international conventions. It will be recalled that the police claimed that the raid on the headquarters of the NLC was aimed at apprehending an international terrorist suspect, but the NLC dismissed it as a cover-up, pointing out contradictions in the police account. The NLC reiterated its demand for the stakeholders' conference to address pressing national issues, including hunger, poverty, and insecurity, while advised the government to stop meddling in the affairs of opposition party and to focus on dialogue with honest Nigerians. The organization warned that it would not hold the police responsible for any future incidents at its headquarters or against the leaders and members. And of course, that is the news package from the English desk of the AM News. I will now be joined by Passano for the news in Nope language. Passano, over to you.
Gwamnati cikin Kwara ba ni dai ku enyan tun gajen zaman jina ga computer jina dai har ne lo pa ko ce to ara ta dai lo ejin ibaja e bayan kokari waya dai ya gboro en gamba to pa to pa shiwo e pa en gajo kakan gwala junchon na be tian alcohol na dai ala ti man kanta jina dai ku account shirin cha dai amfani dai afi tian gboro en kikejo na gira bari kafaya ta di safe wuyan kide ji gbaja gboji na de man kan ta ji secondary de kaka ade lu eshibe butrina na kan do ci ji man kan ta ji na de fi gola mu na ai na kinna ce dai zabe lori ai ne lori abun na yego ta kin Kwara na abeki aga de mace je bayan computer ji na ye ga fa lokacin gwamna Abdurrahman Abdulrazak ya zalo kai gbaja nan latula kide unga baskun aji ko kana din to aso ai be kom aga da na kici ba gona dai aku computer de pe ai ji makata de bude e mawo e fe ye bolo wan fi pi ajo nan bani ma ni me lo wa de gan aliko e mu shi nan gwamna ji na wa she ba ta computer de na na ma ago fi da nan shi nan ago go de fi e pa e se ne gan internet nan ni me kalame commission de la da e tun man kata yi un ci ko de kin Kwara abunan lekta Maryam ani de latula kide na be e tiyan ye bolo de waya kafin ki pe makata yan zaman yo na jiban de e lo gani be na a ke ba gani be ma wayan gaji ka kan e gi man kanta yo to ma ni mi ba ta ala yan ba fatura galbe ni man cin na de gwamnati jiyanin kidan ga basu ko to a ji kine e tiyan de do ya amfani ji gani be na ba go ga commissioner to sai de fiye so bi na Allah ya a cikin ba ide agu en ga su de fi ka kai no gwala gide na laida to man kata wa gide kin Kwara ga University of Basic Education a latu lan kide e ba ga ba ta fi gide ga manu yo na de gwala gitu ba a da ga ta fi ga gwala gide ba ku kiwa ya kinegi e ti bolo yan man kata shi ba ni mikin Kwara abuna muje za shawara ya ci dai ya gwala mushi na secretary na ya Ismail na dai lai ga ne tula ba o sika na dai mu kalu ba tishi nye gwala ya yi back mushi na yankin Kwara abuna professor Shehu Dara Rahim Adara Maja gan bayan aliliya ni mi lokacin na ji ala abil dazan lo kai pipen do ci yan wa pipi ni me shi ne Ìbàdàn nan bana da saga gan makata kin Kwara ji kini wa ba na zangi se la zana nan e kan wa fi mu shi na ajin Ìbàdàn nan mun ga mu yi na ku da anji de e kan dan e ti daga de kin kojo to kan Kwara nan a ke ba gan be kan gwan do ci ni me state ndo ci na bima na do shi shebe dan kwangwan e yin Baucho nake ku state sashi de kan kwangwan arewa nan e bugo dojin labari na tulo da nan yi ina biye nan ma be safi na bin tsakanin gwala ja butu da angi abi ke ka be ji karaye fa gurba nan gwamnati kin tashi dai ba ni a wa fin committee bandu ci dai lasha ni wato committee ni mai daga gwala ji minister dai lai da to yan latiji nan to gwala ji minister dai lai da to yan amfani ji ganbi no ji dai kin babu nan na dai a yikin ne te wa ya cimbo yana dai yan yi shi dai a malokin bo ba ni nan ji minister dai lai da to yan latina Aliyu Abdullahi na dai la ga na dai tula kai ni da ji na dai a ji ke na ji kin ta chona kai na dai ga ji yankin Najeriya abu na ji tiye ye buru na ji yikin ne tiye buru wa ya nuna cin lati ga ji shiri nan gwamnati shi Bola Tinubu na lati cin ti mo le be gan kide ba ni e ka gola yen ministry mu de a ti ashiri bi sila yi lani e ti enu e kere o be na ebo na engi chi na ide en do kari na kun ke wo ya za angi biya ni me kin Nigeria abona ebo na so ko to akin Nigeria abura gani be no e no chukun ni ide da san ebo kya chi na kin nga gan si de a ja amfani ebo ibo ga so ko ji amfani bi enu e kire na gan ala e tun lati ti ma a kuto za angi ku yakan e bayan yana da ala a ta ji kokari e tiye no ne kire mu ga mala a ti be lila shiri en committee lila shiri en committee ne gola yan kede ministry baba na kede awa e wa dan ina je ala kini gibde be ya yin ci ba ko kin babu nan e bayan nuwa sana de da sa bani nan to na be de ibo nan mu ke ye latula bi kede bani a bi ci la shiri ci da ibo da wani na de ala gwamnati lagbani nan ya kiyo ya na jala sauki bebe ebo nyi ya amfani so ya za angi ji to kin babu nan rai za ku ban do shi de bayan en sun kin bo de na de go gan da ku yin e bayan sun kin mo de be tsakanin da di ci to lema ci na da ni me ka kin lafiya yo nya ka kun tin yi edo kin kwara abu nan yi shi baba na ji na tsakanin a pem shi tsakanin bubu wato lafiya yi na de dan ne headquarter yan ka kun tin nya edo nan ni me lo labari latula kide dokaji bani a gane bayan gusumun na kide zagban do ci fi gwata wani ya egwana de dan tabiya nan sashi zajide balagani be da gila